You both make it look an enormous amount of fun, what each of you do. Is this a great time to be writing comics and being in the field?
I think it's an amazing time to be writing comics, actually. It's a bit like the Wild West again, which anything is kind of possible right now.
To me, I mean, comics is one of the most rock and roll, punk rock things you can do. You know, it's a medium that allows you to express yourself in any way. You can put your imagination directly onto the page, and a pencil can do things that, you know, a gigantic budget just cannot do. The way that the dialogue is written, you know, you're right, it's like lyrics. You know, you have a very short space of time in which to express yourself, so you're trying to condense things as much as possible, and lyrics work the same way.
For the last 18 months, Logos International had been quietly snapping up rights to every term and derivative in the English dictionary, and naturally, the old fox wanted in on the action. Control the word, control the world.
There seems to also be a lot of inspiration between the two of you personally and professionally.
I first discovered Grant, I believe I was going into middle school. So, you know, up until that point, I had only known things like X-Men or Spider-Man or Captain America, you know, all that stuff. But I had yet to be introduced to any sort of sophistication in comics, and that's where Grant's work comes in.
I mean, and for me, it was like what Gerard was doing was I can understand it. It was like comics, you know. Each album had a completely different theme. Each album was written differently. The music was different. The lyrics were different. The presentation was different. The artwork was different. The minute we met, it was just an instant connection. You know, and we've stayed friends since.
Grant, you've written a new piece which is being premiered at Graphic tonight.
Well, I was kind of interested in the idea that Australia had a golden age of superheroes who were based in Australia and were very specifically Australian heroes, but it's been largely forgotten.
For the 769th time that day, the old fox wholeheartedly agreed with himself, and the chopper came sulking into land. In a steaming, seductive science garden, improbably situated in the blistering red heart of the Northern Territory. Nearby, a bright green dingo squatted on bony heels to twerk out a shit, shooting him a half-apologetic glance that seemed to say, "Welcome home, boss."
So I think for me, it's always been about, the great thing about comics is that it's allowed me to take elements of my own life and translate them into symbols. So right now, it's, you know, there's always a way to use comic books to talk about how you feel, and I think it can make even the most outlandish material applicable to all our lives and make it universal and make it meaningful to people all around the world.